She had to Google my birthday. She didn't know when my birthday was.
Yeah, no, there was one time I had to like give, I was like at the doctor for something and they were asking like my dad's birthday and I was like, oh, just give me 1 second. I literally had to Google like what year was Charlie Sheen born.
Well, at least you could do that.
I
That's a
know.
plus.
People always say like, what is it like having famous parents? What is it like having parents in the public eye? But I don't know, those are my
all you
parents.
know.
Yeah, it's not weird or anything. Like, I always said it'd be so weird if like I walked into a bank and they were working there, or like a Starbucks, or like a regular job. Like that would be more out of the ordinary than just seeing them on a TV, because that's kind of like all we know.
I feel like a lot of people may assume that just because you're famous, or they may think you have money or whatever it is, that you may have a perfect life. And I always say I don't want anyone to ever compare themselves because, you know, it's just really not perfect. There's a lot of sides to it that are challenging. Because so many things are so public and there's so many amazing opportunities that I'm so grateful for. Also for me, it did give me anxiety about just having a lot of things very public. I wouldn't obviously trade my parents for anyone else, but like the fact that they're famous and the fact that I didn't have a choice but to be born into a famous like family and that was just going to be my life, it did give me a lot of mental health challenges.
I think it comes with like pros and cons. Like we've got to experience like so many amazing things that some people will never get to experience, but it also comes with like invasion of privacy and not being able to do a lot of things that normal people can do, I guess, even though I don't know, it's like it's kind of all I know.
Everyone told me, do not go out with them, and I said, no, I'm not going to listen to you. But I believe in destiny, and this was our journey, and we were truly brought together to have our daughters. I would not have Sam and Lola if it weren't for him. So I am grateful for him. Eloise is a bright light. Eloise has a chromosome disorder. She has a deletion in chromosome 8, which has caused many developmental delays. She is always happy. Everyone loves being around her. The girls are so amazing with her.
I like to do her makeup, and we played tennis not too long ago, and we like to go shopping, and what else?
You love Peanut.
She likes to babysit all my animals for me. Oh, we get our nails done together too. We do everything together.
She's very close to both of them.
Yeah.
Right, Eloise? We did our very first family reality show years ago. So crazy because Sami and Lola were 3 and 4 years old when we did it. And then to see them now, 19 and 20, and now having a little sister who's now 13, is just I think it's such a wonderful journey to see from where the first time we ever did reality to where we are now.
Anything that went wrong or happened in our family, I would always say, like, where are the cameras? Like, we need to be filming this. So I guess I just, like, spoke it into existence on accident.
I wouldn't speak to you like this if you were such a bitch, dude.
Don't call her dude, she's your sister.
I thought that it would bring our family together, and I think it would be sweet to watch it back when we're older. So, and it really got me out of my comfort zone.
I think dynamics in a lot of families change when kids start becoming adults and they're not home all the time. They're not, they have their own opinion. They have their own, interests, not activities that parents are saying you have to do this or there. As they're becoming adults, it's nice to have the dynamic of bringing everyone together too. The good news is that people will be able to see my generation of a lot of celebrities, kids, people that are older. We didn't see a lot of their kids in the tabloids, but a lot of people my age, everyone has seen the kids grow up, and it's a different thing. And so I think it's interesting for people to be able to hear their point of view, that this is all the girls know. I grew up with a mom that she was a stay-at-home mom until I was a teenager, and then she went back to work. And my dad worked 9 to 5, and we had dinner every night at 6 o'clock. So I couldn't imagine my parents doing what myself and Charlie do. So it's very different. And I think it's interesting to hear their perspective of what it is like to grow up with um, parents in the industry from birth. They've been in, even in this magazine from the day they were born. I don't think they've seen much of
I
my
recently
work.
watched, wait, what's the one where you're at the pageant show?
Okay, she sent me a picture not that long ago on the airplane. Mom, you're in this movie, and it was Drop Dead Gorgeous.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Lehman, and I believe this pageant is an important experience for every young woman.
I said I'm finally watching one of
She
your
finally
movies.
watched it. She goes, so they don't watch my stuff, but she finally did watch Drop Dead Gorgeous a few months ago on the airplane. I was so happy to see after 100 years it's on the plane. You can watch it.
No, it was really funny. It was weird. I saw a lot of myself in her. But I've always been told to never watch Wild Things. I'm not allowed to watch it.
No.
No, you've always told me not
I know.
to.
No, yeah, the answer is no, not to ever see that again.
Even though
Or
it's
ever.
the most it's the name of our freaking reality shows.
Yeah, you can't watch it.
It's okay.
If there's maybe a PG version, then she can, but
But I
don't
have
even know
no
how they would
interest.
make it a PG
I've
version.
dealt with kids like showing me like pictures of my mom and weird.
Have you seen any of my movies?
Yes, Mom. I've seen Drop Dead Gorgeous when I was
you
younger,
did?
but I don't just go and turn on their show. It's so weird to me.
Did you ever see
I
James
really-
Bond?
I was gonna say I've seen
really-
Starship Troopers.
I really admire what they do, of course, but I don't watch their movies by just like with my friends. My dad, though, I've seen a couple episodes of 2.5 Men, but that's really it.
Charlie, I'm breastfeeding, remember?
Oh, right. And may I say, on behalf of myself, the maitre d', and the entire kitchen staff that found a reason to walk past our table, you're doing a hell of a job.
Yeah, sometimes 2.5 Men will come on like at a hotel. Like if I put the TV on, then it's there. So I'll put it on just to see what it is. But
Did
But
you
I
see
really
your
don't
episode?
remember 2.5 Men.
yeah, I saw my episode
What episode?
She was on it.
Oh,
when I was like 0.
And I was pregnant with you.
that's funny.
You know what's funny is they are very different. Sami and Lola are 15 months apart. My sister and I are 18 months apart, and we're very different. But the core of us, though, there's a lot of similarities. And I tell the girls, too, they are more similar than they think, and they probably won't realize that until they're much older.
I don't think we could be more different. Like we are polar opposites. Our beliefs, our personalities, our styles of clothing, like any little thing it is, like we're completely opposite. So it definitely makes it really hard for us to get along. We fight all the time.
We're very different, but it's fine. We just are walking in completely different paths of life, and that's okay.
I think what made me start an OnlyFans in the beginning is because I really wanted to get an apartment, and I knew that working at the candy shop I was working at wasn't gonna cut it. So I went to the next best thing and made an OnlyFans. It opened so many doors for me, and I've met really cool people doing it, and it's been really nice and rewarding being my own boss and making my own hours and being able to do the things I've always wanted to do. So yeah, it's going really well.
How do you both feel about your mom opening up an account?
I think it's great. I always just tell her I wish she waited a little bit because she started it right after I did. But yeah, it doesn't bother me at all. Lola might say something else.
Whatever she makes.
I don't know what more I could do. In my career, I've done so many different things, and so I really did it because I didn't understand what OnlyFans was. And that's the truth. Like, I was so uneducated about it. I had heard of it, but I didn't know what it was. And when I saw that Sami was getting so much backlash, it really upset me as a mom and also as a woman in this business because I've done roles where I have been, I did Starship Troopers, very conservative and a totally different role from, this was very beginning of my career. And when I did Wild Things, totally two different roles, and people could judge either one. And then after Wild Things, and then to be perceived as a sex symbol and doing photo shoots for that, and people can have opinion about that. I didn't want, it bothered me that she was getting backlash for owning her own sexuality and her being a woman and doing what she wanted to do. And that's why I joined it. I didn't understand it before, and then I quickly learned. But that's ultimately why I did it. And I kind of made a sort of a joke about it. I posted something when she did join, when she was, people were making comments, because it's hard because she's so young, and she was 19 or 18 when she joined.
I just turned 18 when I started.
She was 18 years old.
Which is
and
crazy.
For me, I thought, oh my gosh, for her at 18 to have people have negative comments about her, it really bothered me. So that's why I, decided to do it.
So I found Jesus a year ago, and I was very depressed. I was very anxious. I was really, really struggling mentally. And I wrote this in the baptism, but I can't explain it other than it literally was supernatural. Jesus rescued me, and he completely rewired my mind. He completely rewired the way that I think. He became my savior, but also my best friend. And he is the one who I go to for everything. I don't even know how I lived without Jesus. This was my first full year of actually following Jesus and going to church and having a community, a Christian community. And so I started going to this church. And so one service I was there, and the pastor was saying how he's doing a baptism. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I have to get baptized here because this is the place that drew me so close to Jesus. And so 2 weeks later, I ended up getting baptized.
I made the decision to baptize all the girls when they were babies. They went to Catholic school actually in Malibu for a lot of their elementary years. So that's why I'm so supportive of Lola. I was at first confused because she has been baptized,
But I have to say though, can I say really fast?
Yeah.
When I was baptized when I was younger, that wasn't my choice.
Exactly.
So I didn't know Jesus at that time. And then I got baptized because I was like, now this is my choice. I know who he is. And yeah.
We're very supportive of her.
You're very strict.
You're very strict.
I was much more, I was. I was strict.
We had a curfew at, what was it, like 10 o'clock?
We couldn't have double sleepovers
We-
ever.
We couldn't go to parties.
2 nights.
No, yeah, that one really frustrated me. We couldn't have two.
Only in the summer you could.
We couldn't have a sleepover 2 nights in a row, which
In
made
the
no
summertime
sense to
they
me.
could.
I remember I would always like sneak having like social media, and she would go on my phone and delete it off there, like just random thing. But I understand where you were coming from.
I worry way more because of my experiences. Way more. And they get upset with me sometimes, thinking I'm too overprotective, or I don't want them to go to a certain area or go by themselves somewhere. I worry more now that they're older than when they were younger. And I thought it would be the opposite. Like when they started walking, I was afraid they'd fall and hit their head on something or that. Now it's different. It's a different worry. And, before my mom passed, she told me, you will never stop worrying. You'll never stop worrying. And it's true.